Well, welcome back to our playthrough. I am loading in now. The party is currently in the Putrid Bog, which is home of Ethel's tea house. However, I am actually going to need to go back to camp. Well, you know what? Nah, we'll just go as is. We are buffed. We are ready. I did forget to actually talk to Volo, which would have given me a very nice buff for this
These
particular
boots have seen everything.
encounter, but you know what? I forgot to talk to him. That's on me. So we are going to go in. See the whole party's here. Somehow multiple Misty Steps. I love it. Uh, we're going to go say hello. I'm sure she'll be happy to see us.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, girl.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for two, so get to it. Oh, if it isn't my hero. You took ages. Come in, come in. Feel free to relax yourself and have a cuppa, hmm? Gods grant me patience. Eat up, Mayrina. I won't say it again. Keep that hole under your nose shut, or things will get messy.
Well, you heard the lady. We don't want things to get messy.
Oh,
What
but
is it?
do we?
What's going on?
Do we go for the deception? Uh, yeah. I think we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to lie to her. We'll see how it goes. We can get a little guidance. And you know what? Why don't we go ahead and get the advantage on this particular check? Oh, look at that. We didn't even need it. Honestly, didn't need the guidance of that roll. We have now lied to this girl that Ethel killed her.
Ah, you want to play it like that? Fine. Yes, girl.
And Ethel's well aware that we
I
lied.
killed your brothers.
That can't be true. Auntie Ethel.
They were being rude, and I detest rudeness.
You monster! The deal is off.
Enough, away with you.
Hmm.
Blessed silence at last. Some time in the cage should do her good. And you'll regret sticking your nose in my business.
Ooh, Ethel's very upset with us. It's weird it was blurry like that. And now the truth is revealed. When they said Ethel's a hag, she's a hag. And she is definitely going first. Backlash that.
Are you lost?
And she's Vicious Mockery on me. So we're even. I didn't let her put mage armor on. She didn't let me keep friends on, I guess. Alright, so I don't have advantage.
Sometimes the only way out is
Unless we
through.
get somebody melee. So we're just gonna move Karlik up. Now, here's the deal. This fight, we could try to kill Ethel in one round. But we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna blow all of our abilities. We're gonna do some damage, which will make her retreat. Oh, it's doing that lag thing, unfortunately, but it was a miss. So we're not gonna even use any of our pommel strikes or anything like that. We want to essentially drive her back into her hidden base. I mean, it would help to hit a little bit though. Come on, man.
Oh, I can't even catch my
What
breath.
side are you on this? So yeah, we're not gonna mess around. We're just gonna go Eldritch Blast. Which is a very high defense, but we're gonna try. I missed twice.
At the ready.
I hope we can get
Talk to me.
a hit. We need to do a little bit more, I think, to get her to leave. So, yeah, we're gonna come up. We'll do a little melee. There we go. Again, we're not gonna pop any abilities. We got a little damage on her. That might be enough to get her out of here. Yep. So this is an illusion. You can see the stairs behind it. And we're gonna chase her down eventually. Now the reason we'd rather fight down there is we also want to save Marina. And so one thing we are gonna do before we move on that I know we need, and I highly suggest it, is make sure that you have Create Water memorized when you go down there. Very valuable spell. Trust me, you'll need it. The other thing I want to do is I have Magic Missile. I can make sure I have that going. That will also be very useful. Those two things are going to save you so much trouble.
What's in here?
And you'll see when we get there what I mean. So we are going to loot. Plenty of things to loot here. One of the big things being... oh, I saw something over there. Maybe I didn't. Lots of healing potions tucked around. So make sure you're picking those up.
That contraption's a hot
Didn't-
ticket item. Might not be our last scrap for its sake.
Didn't mean to start a conversation. Like I said, that will happen eventually as they kind of... your companions kind of adjust to where they are at. We're gonna go and turn this off. This is what we mean. You can slip through there, chasing her down. You can see we got a few things to do things with. I don't loot every little piece. I'm not gonna loot a cleaver at this point. Money's not going to be too big of an issue. But, you know, things like food, things like healing potions. Still pretty interested in looting those. We're going to get the key. We're going to need that later. Get that. Get the animal speaking. We can go and read this. That gives us the ability to make simple poisons. Alright, we don't need a cauldron. More potions. And then be all these butter buns that you can pick up. I don't pick up the spoiled ones, obviously, but it's a good eating. This door, we'll go and open it. We're not going out it yet. So, do want to come out here though, because there's a few things out here, including a potion of greater healing and an antidote. Antidotes don't come up much, but if you do get poisoned, you can use antidotes to clear the poisons off. I don't think we need anything rotten. So the letters, if you actually read the letters, they are, there's actually some letters later too, but ultimately we find out that Ethel is speaking to another hag, and she kills that little group that we found earlier of 3 like torn up bodies by the beach. They killed those for one of her other hag friends. But we're now down in her cave. The overgrown tunnel. And we'll have some more conversations.
I can't.
You are as thick as they come, sweetness. This is my personal playhouse, and you don't have an invite. Get out! Has that wriggler eaten your brain already? Leave, or you'll end up in tonight's stew. You'll go nicely with Marina. She's already marinating. Ha!
So, little threat. She's not real happy. You can see there's actually previous victims of Ethel down here. So we have a skull staring at it. You can actually find information about them. So if we look at the skull,
My sweet Callum,
whose beloved asked that his beauty never fade.
So he's looking at a mirror.
What is this place?
Which reminded her of Genius.
Don't look.
So she cut her head off. She's not good people. I'll move this guy. He's terrified.
What's up for discussion?
No, no! Don't look! Mustn't look, mustn't see! I see it! I see what's to come.
You realize there's magic at work. Some type of spell. An illusion.
Me, dead, dead! Flesh rotten, bone shining! Lies! Lies! I see it! See truth, see death, all future! No, real, real! Knife twisting, bone raking, skull splitting, heart. Gods, don't hurt me! Oh, please, 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 please! Ah! No! Stop! Trick! 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 They're the monster! Monster! Mind dripping! Flesh peeling! Mind flayer! Leave me alone, please!
Well, he's definitely having a bad day. So, I don't usually get too dwelled on these guys.
You feel crushing
By the door.
waves of fear as the presence within the door recoils. It can't let people through, not again. Images flash. A man cowering, a bag open at his feet. Gold coins spilling onto the floor. His cries for mercy are cut short as the hag slices into him, dismembering him painstakingly, limb by limb. She cackles, the man's remaining flesh twisted and contorted, becoming the twisted surface of the door before you. Flee, you feel it cry. A scene appears in your mind. Two paladins and a cleric marching through the door, shrouded in the glow of the divine. Weapons brandished, they charge into the hag's lair. Screams of terror pierce the air.
You let them in? Naughty. That's a decade for each. You're mine for 30 more years, peddler.
You see an image of blue skies and sunshine as the door shudders a warning. Run.
So we're going to try a little persuasion. Ultimately, you can just walk through. The door's an illusion. But that's what he's going to kind of hint to us.
The door shudders, imagining its wooden frame cracking and splintering in a raging inferno. You see the hag. She walks through the door, its form shimmering. With a jerk, you're pulled from the vision. You feel the presence within shrink, terrified.
Please!
So what do we just learn? The door is an image. So ultimately,
Moving in.
we click over here. We walk right through. Now, one thing to note, this area is really right around level 3 to 4 is when you can roll in, kind of level 4-ish. It's pretty tough, even at level 4. At level 5, it's not as hard. But there are still some challenges. This first room, there's going to be 4 guys. They are all trying to resist the hag's influence. They actually have masks on. There's actually a mask back there if I put on. I would get taken over by the hag. So, you know, you try to do what you can to make sure you have every advantage you can. So, like for right there, I started the fight a little early. I've already done a lot of damage. So I'm going to split up the party. I'm going to see if I can sneak in here. This guy I think is looking. Oh, I got yanked into combat. Oh, but I still go early. We have 23 hit points. Don't really want to do a level 2, but we can go ahead and put a hex. A classic hex wisdom. I just kind of always do that. I'm just gonna. Oh, we don't need to crit him. I mean, maybe we should have crit him. I don't think it would have done too much more. So we're gonna start that one.
Ready. Unseen.
And then I'm actually gonna have Shadowheart come this way. Oh, she might get seen. She did. And Karlak, remember they were surprised by the way, so we should get to act again before they do. I'm gonna bring Karlak around to deal with this guy. Let's see if she gets it. Yeah, she did. And she's here. Okay, so she got a good swing off. But we need to finish our turns. So Starion still gets to go. So we're actually going to try and put the bigger hit on him. There we go. So he's already dead. Love that. We're actually going to slide over here and hide and see if that works.
Blood comes easy these days.
They're both surprised. So I can come over. We can kill this guy. I'll take the miss. It's okay. Like I said, we're kind of way ahead on this. Okay. Alright, we already killed that one.
Still breathing, despite everything.
And we're just gonna take this guy out. Better to leave one most of the way dead.
Yes, Auntie. I'll break their pretty little bones.
Mask of Regret, a little scarier. But I think we did just fine. Okay. So, don't let that be a trick. This Mask of Vengeance, if you melee him, hits basically does damage back on you. So it can be really devastating. The Mask of Terror frightens people. The Mask of Servitude, I believe does a mind control on people. Actually, it's funny if you read this note. Just trying to remember every day, and that's where these masks are. That's why we're not picking them up. You can sell them, but they're kind of heavy actually.
Always room for more.
What they are, and I always feel like bad juju if you pick them up. So I just pick up their armor. If their weapons are worthwhile to sell. They sell for 15 gold. They're only half a pound, so it's reasonable to pick them up. But you can see that made that fight very easy. We didn't lose any health. We didn't really use anything. We're actually kind of moving through this. It's actually been really efficient. Kind of unusual, to be honest. So, at this point, we're dealing with the second phase. Now this is, you can see a room, and there's all these clouds of gas. And eventually we're trying to get down here. So we have to make our way down through there. There's ways to jump over and be cute about it. And he's not exactly my highest perception, so we're gonna have Shadowheart come over, and she spotted. Okay, so you see these vents. This is what we're looking for. Some of them are easy to find, some of them are less easy to find. Then we throw this towards the vents. The other half of it is we have to avoid all these flowers. So as you can see, awkward. I saw that one. I didn't see this one. I'm just not the best at seeing things. Saw one of the flowers down there. So the reason I do move my group separately, less chance I'm going to walk over them. It's actually very easy to accidentally do when you have everybody moving together. Let's see, I just saw that vent, and I just saw that vent. So you want something heavy you can toss on them. So we're not going to worry about this one down there. There's not really a reason to go down there. I vaguely seem to think that there might have been a chest in here at one point. I've never really gone looking for it, to be honest. I'm usually all about just getting through here as quick as we can.
Let's get going.
So I'm gonna throw, and I'm gonna throw another suit of armor. And where did my thing go that we found? Come on. Where was it, Shadowheart? There it is.
And away I go.
Cover up the vents. Because with the vents covered, it's just easier to manipulate through. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go down this one. And this is the third one we have to deal with. So to get there, make my way over there. Now, this is actually the hardest one to find, but it's also one of the easiest ones to avoid. You can literally just jump past it. And it's somewhere up over here. That you basically trigger finding it.
Step careful.
There it is.
There's a trap.
That actually makes it easier for everybody to get down. If I can cover that one up. There it is. So, the reasons those are bad is you see these little candles and flames. If you set an explosion off, it lights it and then it just keeps getting lit. And then you die. And it's uncomfortable. Flowers enough are annoying. The flowers and the vents, just super annoying.
Need to keep going.
And that's why, and if you don't see the flowers, your people might walk over them, and awkwardness ensues. So a lot of times it's just easier. Oh, no, don't go down there. That was a misclick. Sometimes it's just easier if you can just avoid it all. And get them all over here without having to do a bunch of jumping. In fact, the only one I ever really have problems getting past without jumping, or with, I should say, you can jump past most of them, except for this one that would have been down here. This one right here, you can't really jump past. You have to kind of walk through. So if you don't find the vents, you're going to take a little damage. Actually, it's starting to spawn everything. Shoot. Should've done it all with him. But definitely worth giving up a couple suits of armor. Spending that little bit of time doing it right. Okay, so here we are. So we're gonna sneak, and the reason we are is we don't want to just walk into it now. Also gives us an idea where Ethel's standing, specifically over here. We can see Marina is here in this cage. So, I like to sneak around. I like to approach her from this direction, this side. And me specifically, I'm probably going to stay somewhere right around here in the middle. So, when certain things happen, I can position myself right, send out magic missiles where I want to send them. So I'm going to break myself off. Actually, I'm going to break off Astarion too. I am going to go right here.
You're making me sweat.
These two
Long and low.
are going to come up over here. And I actually want Astarion to go up there. Now, he might have to move from where he's going to start. We'll see. We'll be playing it by ear.
Don't be shy. I'm
Alright. It's time. Let's do this. So we triggered her. You can see she's actually only seen Karlach so far. Lights out on fire, and this is what we were waiting on.
The cage is going to drop.
Did spot a couple more of us. Now, you might ask yourself, oh my goodness, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 anti-ethels. How do I tell which one's which? Well, first off, that's the one that just went. So, that's probably the one. But you can also do it by going examine. And the real anti-ethel is going to have this Fey Life passive. So if you look, you know, they all have this Hack's Trickery, is it an illusion or not? This one is Mage Armor, that Fey Life. So if we go look at one of the copies, no Mage Armor, no Fey Life. So we know those are the copies. My character is going to deal with those. A regular character does damage to it, that's fine. It disappears, but it wastes their whole action. Force damage from a magic missile automatically hits. So I can hit all 3 of them with a magic missile. Hopefully they're all in range, so you get them each. And I take care of them in a round. So everyone else can worry about anti-ethel. Now, one more thing. We definitely don't want to kill her. We're trying to get her to less than 10 hit points, so we got to be pretty safe about how we do it. And the reason being is we want to make a deal with her if we can. Okay, well, we started it right. Astarion's in the combat now. And we have to, we'll switch to non-lethal damage. I don't know if that works though, to be quite honest. Worked with Minthara. I don't know if it works with Ethel.
Eat it.
But hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. Worst case, I can always do a magic missile and put a couple on the ground.
Another fight. Let's go.
You can see we're also already done a pretty good little chunk to her. No one's too far away still. So I'm actually going to use a Misty Step, put myself here. I'm easily in range of all 3. So I can go 1, 2, 3. And see, they can each attack. So by me doing that, I've eliminated 3 combatants from the field. She thinks that I wasted my time. I think she's wasting her time. And you can see we've already taken well over half her health. I didn't even put Hunter's Mark or anything like that on her.
Let's make this quick.
So we're gonna have our girl come in. She's already done pretty serious damage. So at this point, I'm literally gonna magic missile her. I'm gonna do it very carefully too.
Wait!
Oh,
Wait!
you don't even have to. We actually got her in 1.
Killing me is a waste of time. I'll find a way to return.
Maybe it's under 20. I thought it was under
Always
10.
have, always will. But it's unpleasant. So how about we be civilized about this, hmm? I have something you want. But she's worthless to you.
Don't let her
I
take
would have
me.
preferred this was my character with the best social skills,
Shut it!
but
You owe me a babe, girl. And I'll take it, whether you like it or not. Let me leave with the girl, and I'll give you power. You want to be stronger, tougher, smarter? Done. Anything is possible.
now they actually
Just
put the hand. It's a bit of a
let
score
me
plus
keep
one.
the girl and her babe.
If her powers were worth anything, we wouldn't have beaten her. Finish this.
It's your choice, sweetness.
Hmm. So we can do intimidation, or we can do deception. We're gonna do the barbarian intimidation because it's advantage. It's +3. We can get guidance, and we can hope. Ah, and we got it, folks. This is what we wanted. So we save Marina, and
You greedy little
we get the power.
bollocks. Fine. Here.
In the grossest way possible. We have to eat that.
I'll not soon forget this sweetness. You have my word.
But the deal. What about my husband? What happens to him?
Deal's off, you dumb cow. And you've her to thank for it. Not that it matters. I'll find another just as plump and ripe. I can set up shop elsewhere. People always need lotions and potions. Oh, don't act like you won't miss me. Bye-bye, Petal.
Okay.
So stupid. How could I have trusted her? I almost gave that monster my child. That's what she wanted. My baby. And God, I was going to do it. For him. My husband. She was going to bring him back. Bring Connor back to life. I have
Yeah,
nothing,
that's more shout out to
all
point of view.
right? Ethel promised to raise the child, teach them magic, give them a good life. It's a damn sight better than I can do. I just wanted everything back. Back the way it was. It's my own fault for letting her. Look. I don't like owing people. Here. This socket is worth some coin. Really? That's... My husband gave it to me. I should take him home. His coffin is just upstairs. A decent burial is the least I can give him. Thank you. I don't think there's anyone else who would have saved me.
Overlooking the fact that I killed our brothers. So we want the charisma, because it's going to go to me. For sure. I'm like way over everybody else over there. So, that's going to give us a +1, so you can see our charisma right now. It's a 17. Because we put it off our feet. So getting that is going to let me push it to an 18. And yes, I have to consume it, and it's disgusting. And I did push this up. Astarion, still not loving me. He's neutral still. Didn't like that I gave that up. He did like that I went for the power. You can see the other two very approving of me. So that actually was much easier. And see, that was probably the easiest time I've ever had with that fight. I've usually had to work a little bit. very rarely does it go get done in a round. So maybe this build has something to it after all. One of the things I did mention is you want to make sure you have that crate water. If that fight does go for a little bit, crate water is pretty valuable because Marina is stuck in a burning cage, and you can basically put the cage out. So I was not just saying things to say things at that point. There was a reason. There was a method to my madness.
Might be useful.
So this is kind of her back room. These are the letters I mentioned where you can find out more. We do need to pick up Bitter Divorce. That is a wand that we're going to be using in just a minute. Now, she has these other potions. You can see a lot of them here, right? I don't pick them up. I know some people that do, and you can throw them at enemies and things like that. But I've also seen it's kind of the same thing with the mysterious potion. I've seen people accidentally drink the wrong thing, and it never goes well. But we did pick a few other things up. We picked up the Staff of Crones, which is one of the first. This used to be an orange item. Now it's green, which is probably power-wise more where it belongs. It has Ray Sickness, which isn't bad. C2 to 8 poison. It's a one-time cast, essentially, per day. But it might be short rest, I'm not sure. But I much prefer the Spell Sparkler. Those lightning charges actually do add up, especially because it's spell and cantrip. She also has the All-Seeing Eye, protection from evil and good. I mean, we can equip it. Shadowheart doesn't even have a neck on, but it's not one that we're going to use very often, or very long. And she probably honestly won't use it. But we can still go and equip it. And then eventually we will start using some of our elixirs for things. In fact, actually we have a backpack here on Shadowheart. We're going to go fill that with any elixirs we've picked up. They will have a purpose eventually. I start using them kind of a little bit deeper into the game. Just because there is some value to them. So we can put all these like elixirs of Hill Giant Strength and things like that in there. Gather up everything that was kind of spread here, there, and everywhere. Now poisons, oils, we're going to keep those gathered up in one place. That's really more of a Starian's cup OT. Not sure why I won't let us stack the Wyvern Toxins. Weird. But when do you need to use one of those eventually? The Serpent Fang Toxin can go to him. Any of the poisons and things like that are all going to go to him. But as we pick up other elixirs or make elixirs, we're going to start filling our bag up. And there's some really good ones out there. Bloodlust elixir is really strong in my opinion. Especially early. You can actually have a pretty big impact with it early. And I love potions of speed. We're going to get there. She's gathering up a lot of materials. Usually mid Underdark is when I start actually looking at doing some of the crafting with the alchemy. I just like to build up a nice little supply before I jump in and start doing it. So, keep piling it all on her. That helps cut down my weight too. So, I mentioned the Bitter Divorce. Let's go ahead and do that. You can see Marina's up here. She's got her modern coffin. That's where her husband's buried.
Gods! Didn't hear you coming. I know I should head home, but I can't bring myself to leave. The thought of putting him in a wheelbarrow and making the journey all over again. What? You can?
Yep, it's right here.
You feel a surge of power from the wand. The air suddenly tastes acrid. It wants to be used.
Bring him back. Bring Connor back. Please. What? What's happening? Why is he still dead?
You feel something pull at you. The creature yearns for a master.
What have you done to him? But this isn't what she promised. I wanted him back. Back the way he was. Not this. No! Don't put him in the ground. He is afraid of the dark. I'll do it. I'll take him. I promised him I'd fix this. And I'm gonna. Maybe someone in Baldur's Gate can help us. I'll figure something out. Come on, love. Let's go.
And there we go.
Using Ethel's wand wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, probably not the best idea. It's a good observation, but it'll be what it is. Alright, so we're going to actually move on. I had not actually really planned to play much past this, but that went really fast. So, I mean, we're only at about 40 minutes or so, and generally we've been going about an hour and 25 to hour and 35 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the Underdark. I know there's going to be a couple things waiting for camp. I got to finish my conversation with Bolo. I think we should actually be coming up on I think, sorry, I had a little mental breakdown in the midst of what I was saying. I'm pretty sure we're coming up on the next time that Gale is going to want to absorb something, so we'll have a little conversation around that. And who knows what else is going to come up. But we definitely want to go back. Depending on how much is there, we might do some of it and then save without resting and pick the rest up on the next playthrough. I'll try to leave some time for camp time. But yeah, we're in great shape. Yeah, we used one spell. I think Shadowheart's used one spell. Yeah. She did use a rage, but plenty of opportunities to fight without using rage. Remember, we did already kind of loot all this area. So on to the Underdark. Now, as I stated earlier, this is the Underdark entrance I like to use. It's a good central one. That was finding the pipe that's leading from another area. I think it's a good central entrance. It gives you a good place to jump in where you could decide to go one of two directions. And it has a puzzle, which I love. So we're going to work this puzzle. Awkward that everyone's standing on it. But essentially, we're going to at least move people a little bit. You're trying to get all the new moons, a bunch of the black ones, to one side. Now in early access, this puzzle had 4 different moon phases. But they changed it. They took the extra moon phases out, so you just have the full moons and the new moons. See that we get some XP. It does make it much easier. You can also discover this over here, pick a lock on this lever and open it that way. But where's the fun in that? And here we are. This is the entrance to the Underdark. Now this is built into this Tempo Salune by somebody. And we do find out a little bit more about that as we go. But ultimately, Ketherick Thorm built this as a way to link two areas via the Underdark. Not a very nice person, old Ketherick Thorm.
Depth to the shadows. I don't care what others say about the Underdark. It's beautiful down here.
I'm used to a crypt's gloom. This
Yeah.
is something else.
This is one of the areas we're going to be putting a star into work. There's a few locks that need to be picked here. So,
Let's crack it open.
let's put them to work. See, we have plenty of lock picks. Got 9 of them right now. And we're going to add a bonus, so we're looking at 11 to 14. Wish it was a little higher, but you can see we still got the DC 20. There are some DC 30 items later.
Don't linger.
So, wish I could say that was the highest difficulty we're going to see, but there are some other lock difficulties. Oh, there we go. Need somebody to be closer. So first we're going to open this chest, and then the secret door. Now this is a 15. That we should have a little more easily, although we barely got it still. Ooh, and we're going to put that on Shadowheart, because most likely that's who's going to equip it here next level. Little trap disarming kit.
Traps.
And
How
look at that,
considerate.
kind of need it. DC 15, again we have 11 to 14. Definitely disarmed it. Always worry more about the traps than anything. And then we got that one. Alright. And that also is going to go on with Shadowheart. And then we'll put that on me, and then he'll just take that. And we don't want rotten eggs. Okay. So, those items we just picked up. For Shadowheart, this helm, whenever she does eventually get her paladin levels, you can see we already have Channel Oath on her. Whenever she gets Smite, we'll put this helmet on her, because that'll be a big improvement. That'll be level 6. So you can see we have a ways. Right now we're going to keep that, because it's got more use for her. The Radiant Armor, let's look at Shadowheart. It's not necessarily better than what she's wearing, because if I remember correctly, yeah, her dex is 0. So in this case, we're not going to change it out. But if you do her as a light cleric especially, or if you have a little bit better dex as a paladin, this is good armor. That Radiant Shockwave is pretty powerful. So basically every time you do a Radiant attack, it does a big blast of radiant power around it, and it has affected attack rolls. Not going to really affect our build on her right now, so we're actually just going to go ahead and send that one to camp. We can go and send Sorrow to camp too, we're not going to use that. Okay. So that was that.
What to do?
Now we're going to get back on me, we're going to explore a little bit more. Kind of point out the 2 ways out of here. So, there's a way out of here through the broken window. This one right here. It's that lower one. There's also a few things we can loot over here. That way is actually the way I usually go second. So we will come back here and basically do the second half of this area. And there are ways to not have to come back, but I just find it easier to. Oh. And we just triggered something, because we have never actually triggered them yet, and this is one of the areas you can't.
What manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning.
What would suit the occasion?
The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. Then down came the claw. And that, love, was that. They do know how to write them in Cormier, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service. Why, I never. You're paranoid, aren't you? Must be the surroundings. Rather bleak and lonesome. One feels so exposed. This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. Come. There, middle of somewhere.
I don't like this at all.
The house of hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last. Fair enough.
And the truth reveals itself.
What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do.
Fuck. A Cambion.
Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain. Oh, a mere trifle. How dear is one's soul, really? A rhetorical question, of course, but let me venture an answer. It's worth very little, with a tadpole in your head. One skull, two tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that. And what is madness but a denial of reality? Still, I have a feeling you'll change your mind before it's changed for you. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
That's what separates us from the devil, soldier. They think our greatest strength is a weakness.
By all means, bite the hand that feeds you, while you still have teeth. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
So that's Raphael. Raphael will show up a few more times. He is a Cambion, which is a devil, and overly interested in our state of being. Ultimately, can be a little bit uncomfortable knowing that a devil cares so much about what's going on with us. But we will see him again a couple times. In fact, we'll actually get a quest from him at one point. But it's fine. As I was saying, the side entrance we'll come back to. We're actually going to go through this main entrance first. And there's a way we can open this gate safely. But first, I like to come up here and trigger this. You get a little XP for it, if you do it right.
Get back!
More effort than a pit of fang. Credit where it's
Because I'm shooting him too. We got just a hint of it. But he's destroyed by that. And then we come back over. It's the only way we can open that gate, because you can see these little laser beams will just demolish us if we go that way. Is to come over and do this. We shoot that little moonstone. And of course our Sharn gets some XP because we just destroyed a Selenite moonstone. But now we can move on. We're gonna make our way through the Underdark. This was such a cool moment when I first arrived. I actually showed somebody how to do that after a couple times here. I was like, how do I get out? And I noticed it was targetable, so I shot it and it worked. But such a cool moment coming to the Underdark. The Underdark is such a huge part of Faerun. Obviously you have like Drizzt, you have, you know, all those stories, or, you know, Baldur's Gate games have touched on the Underdark. Such a big part of Forgotten Realms. We're gonna grab that. That's just a regular spear. I don't feel like carrying around a regular spear. Did grab the greatsword because we actually do need just a regular old greatsword for something. In fact, we're gonna put that on Karlach, and hopefully remember to not sell it, because we will need that later. We're also going to send all this back to camp. Take a little weight off us. And then we actually got a little pouch here. I don't even know where we got that from, but we're going to put a lot of our potions that are not specifically healing potions in this little pouch. That way we have it nice and handy in case we need it. Anybody else? Potions of speed. Glorious vaulting. I don't know why she had 4 of them. Visibility. Cool. And then we will give our potions to Shadowheart as well. Again, it's all in the interest of oh, we can put the antidotes in there too. Cutting down on the weight we're carrying. I like to carry a lot of extra weight if I can avoid it. Y'all have seen this song and dance. And speaking of, we can also send a few of these. No, these aren't very big. But I don't think we need our letter to Kaga anymore. We don't need our shipment orders. We've already handled that. Our stamped handbill. Starting actually has our blueprints that we're gonna need. I probably don't need to tote around heavy stones. Okay, I'll send that to camp. Eventually I'll use that too. I said always trim that weight back. I always want it to be as low as possible. Alright, so we're gonna go explore a little bit more. Now, the first thing we're gonna actually do is come up over this way. Oh. Don't love that.
What in the 9 hells is that?
They're coming. They're coming.
No, something's coming. And if it lives down here in the dark, it won't be anything good.
They are coming. You are coming.
We'll get to meet that eventually, but it definitely has something to do with all these little spores floating around. Alright. So we're gonna loot around. So you can see there's this sword in the stone, very classic kind of thing. Looks like there's a helmet too. Let's look at the sword.
See what this does.
Helmet's just a helmet, I think.
Slender drow blade impales the stone before you, keeping a silent vigil. This blade was a warrior's sacrifice to Elis Stray. Blood can only be honored with blood. The drow script inscribed on the blade flickers and glows. It rises from the stone, hanging in the air in silent offering.
That thing could chomp me in two.
Best be on my way.
practical.
My faith will protect me. Onward.
This is gonna feel good. Count on me.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
I'm ready.
There's blood in the air. Let's have some carnage.
Ready.
What now? This feels good. Into the shadows.
No time to waste. Take you.
That took the edge off. If not over, then through. Anything of use? More for me? Better not be cursed.
How delicious. Traps. How considerate. Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us. Certainly.
Have a lot on my mind and, well, in it. At the ready. Mentor him. Mercenaries and cutthroats. Useful friends. If you can afford them. Something good here, I hope.
Oh, for a skeleton key.
I've got a long road ahead.
Keep a blade close. A crooked touch.
Still alive, so that's progress. Have to keep going.
Best avoid that trap.
What a day. With pleasure.
Never a dull moment.
Someone there? Should be easy.
All right. What now? Open up.
Mushrooms down here can't be trusted.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
You are swallowed by a chorus of turbulent music. Through one creature sing many voices, the harmony of an entire collective.
Sovereign, he has come. He is here.
The choir fades. A single melody rises above the others, brassy and commanding.
I am sovereign.
You see a vision. Your lifeless body wrapped in fungal tendrils. The sovereign is threatening you.
State your purpose.
Fungal roots weave through your mind, seeking your true intent. Then the sovereign drones a new melody, cautious but welcoming.
I can mend neither skin nor spirit, but we still might commune. Descend to me. Let us speak in flesh.
The persistent music coaxes you forward. The sovereign expects you.
Ah, a visitor. You're a welcome sight. But let us observe the customs of the locals.
The scholar's brow tenses. His voice spills into your skull, the spores connecting mind to mind.
Blurg, proud member of the Society of Brilliance, at your service. Or perhaps not. Your mind is far more complex than that of the fungi. Understandable. We are small in number and rarely stay in one place for long. My colleagues and I are working to improve conditions in the Underdark. This need not be such a dire, hostile place. It's curious to find a Githyanki here. What has brought you down so deep? Truly remarkable. But why come to the Underdark, where they hold so much power? You were infected by an illithid tadpole? It's a miracle you're still intact. You must be worried sick, but have no fear. I have a friend who may be able to assist. Omelium!
I hope this is important, Blurg. My Zerkwood samples need constant attention.
It is. This adventurer has an illithid tadpole inside his head, but he hasn't turned.
No ceremorphosis. That's impossible, but intriguing. Are you looking to have it extracted? Open your mind to me. Let us see what lurks within.
As the Meloan's mind pierces yours, the tadpole pulses with power. It feels 10 times its size. Alive, awake, almost smug.
This is most unusual. The incubation period should be complete, as should your transformation. But the larva is infused with strange magic. It appears to be in some form of stasis. No, it appears to be shielded from physical and magical influence. And even without the shield, the extraction would involve severe cranial trauma. It is not ideal. The process would surely kill you. But not to worry. Should you transform, I will happily perform a new examination. A Nautiloid? Fascinating. I have never set foot on one myself. They were our warships during the greatest eras of the Illithid Empire. We ruled the entire astral plane from their decks. The design was lost when the Gith rebelled and ended our dominion. My apologies. I hope the experience was not too unpleasant. But I have an idea.
Oh, perhaps I should start taking notes.
There may be a way to bypass that stasis. There are many alchemical substances that can influence the mind. A tincture distilled from a collection of rare mushrooms. They have subtle psionic influence. I would require a fresh tongue of madness and Timisk spores. But be warned, in their natural state, both of these mushrooms can be quite dangerous. Timisks cause confusion in those that approach them. The tongue is self-explanatory. My formula will hamper the more harmful effects once the mushrooms are brewed into a potion. Your sanity, however much you possess, should remain intact.
The Underdark, of course, although they are quite rare, and their discovery perilous. I imagine Lenore would have them in her possession. She served Mistra as a cleric. She is quite fond of her garden. Lenore has always been a lonely sort. Nature was her only companion. I offered her the chance to join the society, but she refused. Her experiments on Susa bark took priority.
May your travels be safe and swift. I have never seen anything like it, Blur. Is my species evolving?
Welcome back. Have you made any new discoveries? I do enjoy a good bargain, if anything in my private collection is to your liking. Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog. soon enough.
Seems the shrooms are letting in more people every day. You see a fella on his own on your way in. Dwarf. Balin's his name. Bald, blue tunic, dumb as a stick. Right. Never mind. My useless husband. Sent him for an errand. It's no surprise he's made a mess of it. Knock yourself out. But don't come begging for coin if you find him. You try to ransom him to me, you'll find yourself skint and stuck with a fat old lout.